Well, happy Tuesday evening to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy, and Bitcoin is an absolute mess. Been dumping for 4 or 5 days. We knew this dump was coming. Gone a little deeper than I thought it would. I'm not going to lie, but we're going to figure out exactly where it's going, what's happening, and how it's going to get there tonight. We're going to start off in that hourly chart, and we're going to work all the way through those 4-hour daily and weekly charts and give you some shorter and longer range targets. So you're going to want to stick around for the whole video, but we'll go ahead and get started. We'll start off with that crypto fear and greed index, currently at a 25. We went up all the way into greed, and now we've dumped back down. Concerning, but it's not surprising. We've had a pretty catastrophic dump. Today was absolutely brutal. So where it begs the question, where do we go from here? But we'll go ahead and get into it. We'll go ahead and start off with that liquidation heat map. This is the macro chart. This is what market makers use to track your liquidity. They don't really use a lot of TA, and you wonder why the market's manipulated. Because it's because they just go after liquidation points. That's exactly what they've done. Everything above price action is a short trade. Everything below price action is a long trade. And these cumulative totals have changed big this week, or today especially. $10.72 billion worth of shorts on the books, compared to only about 4.95 billion. Remember, just the other day, this was up at almost 7 billion, and I told you they were coming after it. That's exactly what they did. There's still some bright pockets sitting down here at about 85,000. They really thin out in this $83,000 to $82,000 range. If we go out to that weekly, that's a little shorter term, you can see there's not any liquidity left below us hardly. There's some right here at about 87,150, and that's why it's moving up. But you've got bright pockets here around 90, 91, 93, 94, and then from 96 to 99, there is a ton. Cumulative totals are 3.24 billion to the short, and only about 202 million to the long side. So the imbalance is clearly up. We're going up. The question is, how far do they run this? Is this the end of the move, or are we in for a little more downside? We'll get into the charts. We'll figure that out. I post all these charts in the crypto school. Have been posting signals over there. We missed the short today, but the last 30 days we have made hundreds and hundreds of percent in gains. So it's okay. We sat, we watched. You know, I hate to grab something in the middle because you never really know how much you're going to get out of it, and I like to trade the bigger swing. So I closed my trades right here around 91,000 shorts, and it was a mistake. And what I should have done, and this is a learning experience for all of you guys, let it retest these moving averages and come back down and make the retest. Because if I would have just let this thing retest, I would have caught the whole move. The mistake, it happens. Human. Sometimes the best traders in the world make a mistake. It's not a big deal. I only trade 1% of my bag, tight stop losses, so I really didn't lose a whole lot. We'll live to fight another day. All right, let's get into it. All these charts are posted in the crypto school. You'll find the link to that in my description, but we came down to about 87,805. Now we're working up. You have to. The Crusader signal, you'll find a link in that my description. It's been valuable, guys. Look at this. Back here in around New Year's, it caught this dump, told you to sell, got you to dump here, told you to sell. Now it's gave you a buy signal. If you'd have took the sell up here, look at this. You'd have caught the whole move. Pretty impressive. Like I said, you'll find a link to that in my description. I use it a lot now. I didn't really know if it would work, but man, it really just complements my TA and what I'm doing. So that's where we are. All right, enough of that. Let's get into it. What's going on? So we lost the daily 50. We lost the 4-hour 50. We lost the daily 50 smooth moving average and the 4-hour 50 simple moving average. The only support we really have left is that weekly 50 smooth moving average that sits here about 186, 147. That's concerning. So what happens here? Well, we lost that daily 50. We haven't retested it yet. So what I think this is a retest. I'm not trading right now because I don't think this is ready to go up quite yet. What I want to see is what I think really is going to happen is we're going to come up here, we're going to test this daily 50 and probably reject. And one of two things happens. We come down and try to get back into this retrace. We go down to this retracement extension somewhere between 86.9, 83,965. Your weekly 50 sits right in the middle of it. That's my big question. This weekly 50 is our line in the sand, guys. If we lose this and don't come back up and reclaim it, I think we're in a bear market, and then I think things get really ugly. But what I will show you is this is the 1-hour extension, so there's not a lot more downside that we can make in this move. So maybe there's a little opportunity for some upside. So what I'd want to see is us get over this daily 50, have a successful retest, and then you can think about $91,000 to $92,000. That's as far as I want to go for now, because I think it's really contingent on what happens there. We're kind of in a big decision-making process right now on what happens for the next several months. I feel like Groundhog Day. I feel like we were talking about this back at the last bottom. But what I can tell you is when you get out on the 4-hour chart, the optimism is we put our bottom in at 80,574 back around Thanksgiving. But what I want you to notice is we put in a higher low. Now we put in another higher low. So if we can get traction here, we're in a 4-hour retracement zone, which is good. We bounced off the bottom of it. That's good. We'll see what happens at this daily 50. If we get over it and can come down and retest, then I think we're headed on up to these golden zones, probably somewhere around $93,000 to $95,000. Then you're looking at your weekly extension or your 4-hour extensions right at 100 to 104. Your weekly 50 simple moving average sits there. That's where we're going to really have some concern about getting over if we even get that far. The other option here is you come up and you test these 4-hour 50s or that daily 50 simple moving average. Like I said, you reject. If we get down into these extensions, then it gets scary, because then your next targets are going to be around $80,000 to $76,000. That's where I am for now. This move looks like it's complete, but if we get some kind of consolidatory correction here, then I think we're going down even farther. So it's just kind of a wait and see. I'm not trading this. It's kind of a mess. The daily chart gives you a little more clarity. You got those buy strengths right back here during the big dump, and you haven't seen any more. But what I want to show you is we never even got a sell signal here, so that's interesting. But there's a bullish order block right here from the weekly 50 up to about 88.1, and we bounced off of it. There's a fair value gap here. That's why I think ultimately we reject this the first time. Excuse me. And then we come back down. Like I said, we need to find support here. I'm kind of optimistic that we might, but if we lose it, it gets ugly. We're in a bear market, and then I think you're headed to $60,000 to $42,000. Ultimately, there's a head and shoulders there. I haven't talked about it lately because we've been working up, but it targets about $50,000. If you go out to the weekly, you can kind of see where my optimism lies. The weekly 50's here, and we've respected it so far. It's due a retest. I'm not surprised by that. If we can bounce here off of this 382 at 87,270, then I get bullish, get over this daily 50 and start working our way slowly up over these moving averages, 105 to 114. And then we'll talk. I'm not sure 139 to 156 is on the cards, but we'll see. If we lose this 50, I'm going to flip a short right here, 60,000 to 41, with the target being around $50,000. That gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on tonight. It's not very clear because I'm not very clear on what's going to happen here. It's just kind of a wait and see. Is we're probably going to range, and what I tell people is like these moving averages like to catch up once we have these big dumps. So it may take a few days for us to even get anywhere, but I'm not in a hurry. If I don't trade, I don't trade. If you're not in a trade, you can't lose money. But what I also tell people is if you open a trade, you damn sure better know where it's going, or you're just guessing, and you might as well take that money to a casino, put it in a slot machine, pull a handle, because you're going to come out with the same outcome. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. I really appreciate you guys watching. My name's Chris Hare, the World Champion Crypto Cowboy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tap that bell notification, and leave us a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And I really enjoy hearing from you people. So what do you guys think is going to happen? Are we going up? Are we going down? I'd love to hear your opinion tonight. Let me know. Chris Hare, the World Champion Crypto Cowboy. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you down the road.